Hi, my name is Miss Melissa, and I am a teaching artist in the PACE Art program. We integrate arts with classroom curriculum. I will be working with you all year through these videos. We are going to explore lots of different subjects throughout the year. You will recognize some of the same things you are learning with your teacher, but we will be doing them through visual art or creative movement. You might be watching this today in your classroom, or maybe you are watching from home. We are coming to you today thanks to the Acadiana Center for the Arts and the Lafayette Parish School System in Lafayette, Louisiana. You can find these videos anytime through the Lafayette Parish School System website or the Acadiana Center for the Arts YouTube channel. Let me introduce myself. My name is Miss Melissa. I'm a visual artist. Maybe you had the chance to join me last week. Do you remember my favorite types of art that I like to make? I like to draw, paint, and sculpt. I also like to take photographs. What do you think of when you think of visual art? What comes to your mind? Maybe you think of drawings of your favorite pet, or maybe paintings of your family members, or maybe you just think of paper airplanes. Maybe you even think of sculptures made out of clay. Today, we are going to learn about lines. All visual art is made of lines and shapes. We are going to do this today by making an obstacle course out of construction paper using all kinds of lines. Last time, we learned about 4 kinds of lines. Today, we are going to review those 4 lines and learn 2 more. Well, before we start, we need to know first, what is an obstacle course? Have you ever seen one or been on one? An obstacle course is an area, usually outdoors, where there are many objects that you can climb over, crawl under, even run through. It can be sort of like a jungle gym with stairs and slides that you can play on outside in your backyard or even at the park. So, if we are going to make an obstacle course with lines, let me show you what those are. Now, if you joined me last week, you learned about some already, and some of these you're going to see today will be new. Now, as I show you the lines, I want you to take your magic wand and I want you to draw these lines in the air. And I'll do some with you. Ready? Here we go. This is do you know what this is? A straight line. Very good. Now I should see straight lines drawing in the air, even going in different directions. Up and down is vertical. Side to side is horizontal. Let's look at another line. This is, you know what this is? Maybe you remember it from last week. A zigzag line. Very good. I should see lots of zigzag lines in the air. Maybe this could be some tall grass, or maybe this way could be what? Some lightning. Now here's a new line that I've never shown anyone. This is a jagged line. Let's say that together. Jagged line. Now if you notice, just like the zigzag, it's made of many straight lines that connect, right? The zigzag lines go diagonal. Look at the jagged line. Which direction do these go? Side to side and up and down. And it takes turns. Up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side. You see that? So that's what a jagged line is. What do you think of when you look at this? Does this remind you of something? Maybe some buildings, like from far away in a cityscape? Or what about the tops of a castle? I wonder if anybody thought of that. I should see your jagged lines in the air. Okay, now let's move on. Here we have do you know what this is? A curvy line. Very good. I should see you drawing curvy lines with your magic wand. We learned about this one last week too. Here we have a what? Very good. Wavy line. Wavy lines can go in any direction. And here is a new one I'm going to show you. This is called a swirly. Say that with me. Swirly. Basically, a swirly is kind of like a loop-de-loop, like a roller coaster. Okay? And then there's a special kind of swirl called a spiral. You could say that with me. Spiral. Let's make some swirls in the air. And you could even make some spirals that start off big and get really small. Or start off small and get really big. Isn't that neat? Now let's look at some examples that I have here for you. You are going to make your own obstacle course just like this, okay? These pieces on these sheets of paper are actually made of lines. I'll give you a few examples. You see this straight line here? This is a straight line, okay? Do you see this zigzag line here? Here we have zigzags. Let me show you something closer, all right? Check this out. Look at how these lines really pop off the page. It might be easier to see this way. So if you had an obstacle course, imagine if you can climb up these stairs, okay? That is a zigzag line. Maybe you wanted to go down a curvy slide. That is a curvy line. We are going to make this right now. Now we are ready to make our obstacle course together. These are the supplies that you will need today. You are going to need 2 different colored sheets of construction paper, any 2 colors you want. I chose black and light blue. You are going to need 1 glue stick. If you don't have a glue stick, then you can use a bottled glue. So you just need 1, whichever one you have, okay? You're also going to need a pair of scissors. So go ahead and get your supplies and pause the video, and I will be here when you get back. All right, first thing we want to do is take your 2 papers, your 2 sheets of construction paper, stack them up, okay? Now, we are going to fold it in half like a book. You want the edges of your paper to touch and the corners. Press and make a crease, just like that. Now, we're going to cut along the folds of each line. So go ahead and get your scissors. Remember, your thumb goes in the little hole and your fingers go in the big hole, okay? And you always want to open, I always picture this as an alligator, right? Because look, the alligator's mouth opens wide and then it closes. You always want to open the alligator's mouth wide, and the alligator likes to eat food way in the back of his mouth. So always put the paper way in the back as well. So let's just follow the line and cut. Slide the paper in the back, cut, slide, and cut. All right, so now I have 2 sheets here, and we're going to do the same thing with this one. Open, slide, close, open, close. Okay, so now you have how many sheets? 4. Very good. I want you to keep 1 on the table as your foundation. Like this foundation is purple, that one's dark green. So decide what you want your foundation to be. We're going to leave it alone, okay? I want my foundation to be black, and then I want my light blue to actually be the obstacle course. So decide, because we are going to use both of these. The black sheet, I won't need it, so I'm going to get rid of it. So keep your other 2 sheets. Now, what I want you to do is stack up these 2 sheets, okay, together. And instead of making a book like we did last time, we are going to make a hot dog bun. So I want you to fold it in half the long way. Make sure the edges touch and the corners. It looks like a hot dog bun. Fold them both in half and make a crease. Okay? Now, you can take them apart, and we are going to cut along that line. We're going to cut this one in half. Now we have 2. And we're going to cut this one in half as well. You should have 4 big, long rectangles. Okay? So now guess what? We need some smaller rectangles. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to cut all of these in half. Actually, let's get rid of one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I take away one of these, how many do I have left? 3. Very good. We only need 3. So go ahead and get rid of that one small rectangular sheet. We don't need it. Now we have how many? 3. So now we're going to cut these in half, and we're going to end up with 6. I don't want my obstacle course to be perfect. I don't want everything to be the same size. So you're just going to guess, where do you think the middle is? From this side to this side. If I could pretend, I would draw a line. If I could pretend I was drawing, I would draw it right here to divide where the middle is. So we're going to make some long, skinny rectangles. See that? I think that's in the middle. So I'm just going to cut. How's that? Looks good, huh? We're going to do that for all of them. So find the middle from here to here. Would the middle be right there? No, that's too small, huh? So I think the middle is right here. That's where we're going to cut. The middle from the left to the right. Okay, so now I have 2. And I'm going to find the middle. And always keep your fingers out of the way. We don't want to put our fingers in the way. See? Open and close. All right, very good. Now you should have 6 rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is the most you can have. You may only use 4, but you have some extras if you need. Now we are ready to turn these rectangular strips into an obstacle course made with lines. Good job. Now we are done with our scissors, and we do not need glue for this part either. We are just going to be folding these 6 papers to make all of our lines to go, well, to create our obstacle course. Okay, so you're going to copy off of me. Ready? Let's make a curve together. What you're going to do is fold and make a little flap like that. One on this side and one on that side. Okay, now watch. Look at that. Can you see that? That makes a great curve, right? It could be a slide that you could go over or something that you can crawl under. While we're doing this, boys and girls, I want you to pretend you are a tiny person and you get to go exploring on your obstacle course. Cool, huh? All right, so there's my curvy. We did that together and we'll glue it later. So we're just bending and folding right now. Let's go to the next one. Here we have zigzag. Very good. Let's start making our zigzag lines. Now keep in mind, if you have any trouble at all, or if you get confused, you don't even have to make it. You can watch and you can make 2 curvy ones if you want to, or 3 curvy ones if you get stuck. Okay, so there's no right way or wrong way. Some of you are going to be really good at curvy lines. Some of you will be really good at zigzag. I'm going to show you each one and you can do it with me. See what I'm doing? I'm folding the paper. I guess like over and over this way, over this way. I don't know how to explain it, but I just folded it. That's how I made my zigzag, okay? And this could easily be a what? Some stairs, huh? Cool. Next. Oh, this one's fun. This is a swirly line. And the best way to make a swirl, I'll show you too, but you can do it with me. You see how I'm holding it? Like this with my thumb on top? Hold yours with your thumb on top. Now turn one hand over and give it a little twist. Doesn't that look like a swirl? You could also wrap it around your finger. So I'm going to hold it down, tuck it in, whoops, it slipped, and roll the paper. See that? Around my finger. I'm going to squeeze it and then let go. Ta-da! I just made a swirl. That could be some kind of really cool tunnel. All right, so either way. And you could also do what I showed you earlier by, turning it even after you make the spiral, right? Because a spiral is a special type of swirl. So there's that. So we have a curvy, a zigzag, and a swirly. Now I'm going to show you how to make I'm going to show you, how to make 3 different types of straight lines of objects that could go on your obstacle course. So let's start with the first way. Ready? This could be I'm going to show you how to make a tree house. Very similar to this. Some type of house that you may want to go under. So first thing you're going to do is fold your paper in half. So take it, fold it in half, okay? And then you're going to open it and make 2 slits. Fold these 2 edges in. And this could be a little house to sit under. Isn't that neat? Or you could actually fold the edges in or out. All right? See that? Now here's another way to make a piece to go on an obstacle course with a straight line. We are going to make a slide. Let's fold this one in half too. Watch how to make this slide. Then you're going to make a little slit on one side, and there you have it. There's your slide. Pretty cool, huh? Straight line. We have 3 ways of using these straight lines. Now, lastly, I'm going to show you how to make a bench to sit on like this, or a balance beam to walk on, okay? And if you notice, you could even see my stairs here for my zigzag and my spiral. So yeah, these are my examples. So let's make a bench to sit on, or a beam to walk across, or even crawl under. Go ahead and fold your 2 flaps in like this, and we're going to fold it again. Now again, if any of these are giving you any trouble, or if you're having any difficulty, remember, you don't have to make this. I'm just showing you all of the ways. And if you can do it, great. You see that? There is my beam or bench. We just finished making all of the parts of our obstacle course. Now it's time to glue them. Now we have all of our components to make our obstacle course. All right, so what I want you to do is watch me first, just for a little bit, and then you can start gluing your pieces when you feel comfortable. Just kind of watch for a minute. I want to show you some little tricks. So we started with the curvy line, right? So maybe I want my tunnel or slide to go in the middle. Maybe I want it to go in the corner, okay? So you just play around with it. Now here's the thing. If you have a glue stick, you always want to put the glue a little bit above, and you just rub it. I love glue sticks. It's so easy. You can just rub it and stick it. I'm going to put mine at an angle. Now you will have to hold it down. You can't just go like that and say, oh no, why is it coming apart? You actually have to hold it down for like 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, okay? Make sure you put enough, and I like to even rub mine. Now, I'm just going to play around. Look at this. I kind of like the idea of having stairs coming here. I did this on my other one too. You can glue them over, you can glue them under. So if you have stairs, well, and of course you made it with zigzag lines, it's good if you can put it on, glue it on top of something high. Now, if you can also make a star shape too. What if I did something like this? Isn't that neat? Maybe, you know, pretend you were little and you could climb over it. Or maybe these could be some really cool shaped benches for you to sit on, or something to crawl under. So yeah, all kind of ideas, right? So start maybe playing around, and, you know, could my spiral go on top here? Could it go on top here? The one thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to try to put glue on the side of your paper, because it's not going to work. So I shouldn't see any spirals like this. You should always glue it flat, okay? So start maybe playing around with it before you glue. Now here's my slide. Ooh, what if you could even make something like this? You know, whatever you want to do. Start playing around and start gluing. If you have a bottled glue, you want to open the orange cap, and you need to gently squeeze where you just make a dot and then stick it. I like this spiral tunnel thing right before that big curvy slide. All right, so I'm going to close this because I prefer to use the glue stick. I think my bench would look good there. So at this point, I would like you to start gluing. Create your own obstacle course with all of your line designs. What if I put this under here? Wouldn't that be kind of neat? Notice I'm holding it down and I'm kind of rubbing with my finger. Now, what do you notice? How is this straight line different from that one? Well, y'all notice it's not flat. It's popping out of the page, right? So this is actually called a sculpture. Can you say that with me? Sculpture. Very good. We are making a sculpture out of paper. Sculpture is a type of art that is three-dimensional. It's not flat. You know, I don't even have any room for this slide, and I like it how it is, so you don't even have to use the last piece. You have to have 4 pieces for your obstacle course, but the most you could have is 6. Would you play on this if you were an imaginary tiny person? I know I would. I think you did a great job with your obstacle course. If you're not finished gluing, go ahead and finish, and I will show you something in a second. Thank you for joining me today. We learned so many things. we learned about different kind of lines and how to make these lines, how to make a move and bend to create a sculpture. And we were able to make our sculpture of an obstacle course out of paper. How cool was that? Do you remember all of the types of lines that we learned today? Well, let's see. What kind of line was this? Straight. Very good. And how about this one? This is a zigzag line. Great. Now what about this one? This one's kind of tricky to remember sometimes. It is called a jagged line. Very good. What kind of line is this? Curvy. Very good. This is a wavy. And last but not least, I don't know why I think it should go this way, a swirly line. This was the one that we learned about today that was new. And a special kind of swirl would be called a spiral. Very good. If you're in class, I think it would be really neat to see all of your classmates' sculptures together on a table or even attached to the wall like this. Doesn't this look really cool? And then I only have 4, so imagine what 15 or 20 would look like. I would love to see that. Now, if you're at home, you can make more than one obstacle course if you want to. And as you go through your week, maybe you will notice different kinds of lines that bend in the shape of zigzags, like on stairs. Or maybe you will notice the curves on a slide, or the spiral motion of a top that spins. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I cannot wait to see you next time.